Do you wish them to make an argument in opposition to the death penalty?
No, I did not.
And what is your thinking on this?
I'm thinking that whoever's responsible for these crimes deserve the death penalty. If they feel I'm guilty, then they should sentence me to death.
Henry Segura was found guilty of quadruple murder, death penalty case, put on no defense during the penalty phase, but the jury actually gave him life. I think he actually wanted to be on death row because of all the extra scrutiny on appeal that death penalty cases get, but he did not get that. Anyway, Henry Segura, you may recall, at the time that he murdered his girlfriend and her children, he was married to another woman. Well, guess what? He's got a fiancée. And his fiancée was in court during his trial. His fiancée believes in his innocence, and his fiancée spoke out for the first time with Chanley Painter today. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, I know when we were covering this trial, we had a lot of viewer response who agreed with you. If ever there was reasonable doubt in the case, it was this case. And so I wanted to ask you about, do you guys feel that support from not just the family, but the community, maybe other people who watched the trial who also agreed that this was a miscarriage of justice?
Oh, yes, definitely. Very shortly after the verdict was received, there was an outpour to the family from so many areas, from so many different people coming from so many different directions. And the consensus was that this was injustice served on a platter. He is innocent, and the jury got it wrong. The prosecution had nothing, the state had nothing, and they just could not understand how, if the jury saw what viewers saw, how they came up with the verdict of guilty.
And I have to know, how is Henry doing right now?
Henry is doing well, in spite of the circumstances. He's very strong. Something like this would probably break the average person mentally, but his faith is strong. He has a very strong faith in God, and a very close connection with his family, with his mom and his sister and everyone. And so he's doing well under the circumstances.
And how are Henry's children doing?
His children are doing well. When he was arrested, it was very hard. It was very difficult. The initial shock of it all. And it took time for things to, I think, get back to some sense of normalcy. They're all thriving, academically. All of them are just super smart, super talented, and they're all doing well. But they could be doing a lot better if their dad was home. They're as well as they're doing, there still is a void that nothing can fill but his presence.
What all has Henry missed out on over the years with his family and his kids?
He's missed. When you say what has he missed out, what has he not missed out? That would be the question. He's missed out on father-daughter dancing. He's missed out on football games. He's missed out on National Honor Society inductions. He's missed out on different galas and contests that the kids have been in, and he missed out on telling his sister goodbye. He lost one of his sisters. She passed away in 2016, and he didn't get a chance to say goodbye. His grandfather passed away since he's been incarcerated. He did not get a chance to say goodbye. His mother's had a few surgeries since he's been away. He has not been able to physically be there for her as he would have been and would have liked to be. So it's not a matter of what he's missed out on. He's missed out on everything, every birthday, every, weddings, birth. He has nieces that he has never met. Great nieces and great nephews he's never met. Family that he hasn't seen. He's missed out on quite a lot. And the sad part is that once he's home, and I don't say if, but once he is home, you still can't get that back. Everyone has to just kind of pick up from that moment and move forward, but he'll never get any of that back. The kids won't get it back, he won't get it back. And that's the sad part, that the state TPD, the police department, the state of Florida, they all could have done their job, like really got in there to find out who really did this, and he wouldn't have missed a beat of anything. And yet, because they were seeking a conviction and not actually seeking the truth, an innocent man has missed out on almost 10 years with his family, with his kids, with his mother, and he's lost time and lost family that you just can't get back.
Are you afraid that the more possibly years he spends incarcerated, will that affect him anyway? Will he be the same Henry? It sounds like he's the same Henry you fell in love with, but are you anxious in any way about that?
It's been a long road for everyone, and I don't think that anyone has been the same. No one. Would he be the same when he comes home? I don't think he's going to be the same person. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just think that when he comes home, it's more about knowing what matters the most, knowing what takes priority in life. Will he be the same person he was coming home? No, I don't think he would be. I don't think he's the same person right now, today, that he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 9 years ago. There has been a lot of change in him. But I'm confident that as long as he has that love and that support from family and friends, and as long as his faith stays strong, he'll be okay. He'll be okay.